So just like even though I'm not hurt or damaged, but it's just like just dealing with that type of shit, and then also too like having my aunt be around, like trying to be more for my family. Like my aunt's dealing with like dementia, so it's like that's been a major toll. So I've been getting on the phones, but not as much just because of like my personal life.
And you feel like your personal life is getting a little
Yeah,
more challenging financially as well?
nah, not really financially. I wouldn't say that.
Just mindset,
Yeah, just
time.
mindset. Like as far as like time, like all right, like after work, normally I would just go to the office or I would just get on the phones. But now it's like, all right, let me make sure Auntie, make sure she eat, make sure she got dressed. You know, want to make sure she's
Yeah.
helping out the fam type.
So what are some other problems? So that's a big one clearly that's weighing on you. What are the other problems that are preventing you from getting and staying on calling?
Just that, like I said, instant gratification because it didn't come fast. Like now it's like, all right, damn, it's like you when you be grinding, when you grinding for something. Like my goal is to just get a sale. Now it's like that. Now it's like, all right, now it's time to get back on the horse and do it again. So I would say for me, just being honest is not being consistent.
Okay. All right. All right. So we're gonna work this through.
Did that make sense though?
No, it makes sense. I know where you
Uh,
are. I mean, I have some assumptions on where you are.
And to Cal, I don't know if you know from what my saying, but my mother, both grandmothers, and now my father have all gone through and are going through different levels of dementia and Alzheimer's. So if you need someone to
mm.
talk to or bounce ideas off, I'm here. Like, trust me, no, I don't know many people in Thumbprint or the world who have to go through this level of fuckery with dementia that I do. And I'm just going to be very real with you. That's not being braggadocious. So I'm here if you need help.
I appreciate that, bro.
All right. So let's roll in. All right, coach. So I have a challenge. I was doing cold calling on Vulcan 7, and I was consistent with it when I was not getting business. And I ended up getting a lead that ended up turning into a deal that ended up turning into my first real estate sales closing. I've done rentals before, but this became exciting and kind of gave me the clarity that cold calling actually does work. But my problem is I'm having a hard time sticking to my calls. Got a couple things going on where some family concerns, and my aunt, who's now staying with me, she has some mental health um, hurdles that are requiring my time. And additionally, I'm looking for wins. So now having to call and not and fight through people's barriers or anger, it's not motivating me, but I know my mind is looking for quick wins. So I'm not making calls. I'm not doing the stuff I should do that I know is going to make money. So I need to get clear and I need to get back calling. So I need some support. All right. So executive summary, your challenge is classic high performer dilemma, knowing the path to success, but struggling with consistent execution due to energy drain and immediate gratification seeking. We need to re-engineer your approach to cold calling, transform it from a grind into a system of predictable, motivating wins that accommodate your current responsibilities. All right, strategic action. Reframe cold calling into strategic outreach with clear, measurable micro wins. Optimize call blocks for focus and mental energy. Implement a tailored accountability and reward system. All right. So your journey from cold calls to first real estate closing is a testament to your capability. The current challenge, however, isn't about whether cold calling works, but how to make it work for you right now. Adopting to your aunt's needs and your natural desires for quick wins, traditional cold calling can feel like prospecting for gold with a spoon. Uh, we're going to give you a metal detector and a map to smaller, more frequent wins, more frequent veins. All right, check in. Let's break down your cold calling process. Describe your typical 30-minute call block you've attempted in the past. What resources do you use? What's your opening and what's your immediate objective? So, all right, so I call and I'm trying to call landlords who have owned properties for 10, 20, 30 years and who most likely may be ready to liquidate their asset. I need the best script that will prevent me from getting people being angry, rude, or hanging up on me, right? Kind of direct, clear, but creates a form of interest and excitement from them. So I like the first recommend. I mean, I had a couple. One that really stuck out was reframe it from cold calling. Cold calling is an unsexy word that triggers negative feelings and emotions to your brain, right? Fear,
Mhm.
resistance, etc. Changing that in itself is huge. You can call it whatever you want, but that is a gold mine of a gem. Don't call that shit cold call no more. So, all right. So now, your target demographic, long-term landlords, cool. Let's talk about strategic action. Shift from selling an outcome to offering strategic insight. Focus on opening their long-term position, not immediate need. Cultivate. All right, cool. Let's roll. You're chasing a sophisticated seller, not a distressed one. They've held property for decades, and they likely heard your pitch. Your current approach, even when polished. All right, let's see what the script is. Hey, John, my name is Jeremy with Thumbprint. I'm calling not to ask you to sell your property at 12 John Street today. Given your time in the market, holding this address for 10 plus years, you've clearly, I don't like the wording. You can always tell it to change the wording. You've clearly
Yeah.
demonstrated exceptional long-term strategy. My call is simple. Specialize in helping long-term asset holders like yourself. Let me just say, I don't like the wording. I want this to feel more comfortable, like a conversation with someone they trust, right? I want it to be clear, straight to the point, not fluffy like this. I promise you, changing your script is going to mean everything. First off, changing the
Mm.
title and then changing the script.
Gotcha.
I did that, and it's crazy that I'm still not calling as much as I should because I'm always pulling the lead off of like a couple calls, bro. It's crazy. All right, so let's see the new script. Hey, John, this is Jeremy. This is Jeremy here. I noticed you held 12 Main Street for a considerable amount of time, 10 years. My reason for calling is simple. I work with long-term property owners like yourself who are starting to consider how to best maximize decades of equity, often without traditional sale in mind. I've identified a few key areas where long-term holders can find significant. So boom, boom. Let's say you find a script. All right, boom.
Hmm. Yeah.
All right. All right. So this script is okay. I want to make a few more tweaks, but I need guidance on getting me back into cold calling because I'm out of that flow. I'm out of that consistency. And I need to get back into it, but I need guidance to get back in there. All right. So you are not out of the flow. You're prioritizing critical family support, which drains the finite resources of mental energy. Focusing yourself into a large, intimidating call block right now is your recipe for frustration, not consistency. We're going to use an atomic habit approach. Make the desired action so small, it's easy you can't not do it. Forget the hour-long call sessions for right now. We're targeting micro calling bursts. Your highest leverage time is likely when your mental energy is least depleted by your aunt's needs. Number one, the 15-minute power block. Identify the one 15-minute window per day. Ideally, the first thing in the morning when you're freshest, or immediately after a break when your energy is somewhat reset. This block is sacred. No emails, no social media, no distraction. Number two, pre-call prep, 5 minutes. Before the 15 minutes, spend a maximum of 5 minutes identifying just three target landlords from your list, no more. Get their names, their property address ready. This reduces friction. Chase, sorry, I got distracted by a call. The 10 call challenge or 15-minute max. During your 15-minute window, make as many calls as you can to those three targets. And if you run out, quickly grab another. But don't but don't obsess. The goal isn't to make a deal, it's to make the calls. Focus on the dial. Your first success criteria is simple. Dial the number. Each dial is a win. Each conversation, no matter how brief or how it's extra credit. So I can go through this all, but doesn't this give you way better clarity of like, you know what? I could take this on.
Yeah. Nah, I just haven't been using mine. well, asking the right questions. Because I done did the script part, but I fall too deep into like customizing the scripts and then just jumping straight into it.
Yeah, and that makes sense as you're learning, but you now, like, I love that. I said, yo, forget the call block term, forget the call block hours. We got a bigger problem, bro. And it makes sense, right? Your energy is being pulled from your aunt, and that. So now that reassurance and understanding only makes you feel heard, which now actually opens your brain to any advice anyway. Versus if it said, man, fuck that shit, bro. You got to get in there, get in the game. You know what I mean? Um, but additionally, it said, bro, let's keep this simple. Just 15 minutes. Just 15 minutes. And the win is making the call. The win is having a conversation. 15 minutes, and let's just do 5 minutes of prep on knowing who we're calling. And the good part is you don't have to scrub these because you have Vulcan 7. So you
Yep.
already have a list. Now you just go in there, hit the dial. Yo, 15 minutes. That's it. You can, if you do that, your brain will support that. A whole hour call block, your brain wants to fight. It's like, yo, bro. If you say, yo, I'm going to go read for an hour. If you say, I'm going to go clean for an hour. If you say, I'm going to go do anything for an hour, your brain is like, bro, holy shit, what?
Facts.
So until your brain supports it, because it's like, yo, we're getting these wins, money's rolling, you're getting these listings, then your brain's like, bro, we need 3 or 4 hours in here. But for now, you're not there. So anyway, that now gave you enough clarity to help yourself. Now you got to do the rest. All right, anybody else got a quick one? I know we got 5 minutes left.
Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you
Yeah,
for
can you
raising your
send that
hand.
over to me?
Yeah,
All
absolutely.
right. Or
I'll hit the whole convo and send that over to you. All right,
gracias,
start a
Papi.
new briefing. You got it, Chief. All right. Anybody else? All right. Well, the good part is that showed you one, how I have a conversation, but how this can literally give you quick clarity. Like what Takal's going through, I promise you, his brain would avoid addressing it. His brain would make excuses which would justify him being stuck longer. Right. And then this would just resurface later. It would show up when he's walking home or he's after a whole half an hour on social media. He's like, fuck, man, I didn't make no calls. I got no business on my plate. And now that weight resurfaces. So we can delay and avoid. But now he just spent over the, let's just call it, it was 10:12 because we had 18 minutes left, 10:12, and now it's 10:26, right? Let's call that 14, 15, 16 minutes, whatever. He got now clarity that his brain may be a little excited about and that he can actually flow it. Now he needs to do the work to build, but yo, that's 16 minutes versus days, hours, months, years of suppressing and avoiding and allowing real life reasons to be the reason you stay with this weight. Because at the end of the day, we all have weight. It's just, are we choosing to allow that weight to just keep us weighted, or we're going to use that weight and still support it and manage it while we still find solutions? Because at the end of the day, the life doesn't stop. These bills continue to come very aggressively. Your mental health is deteriorating unless you're strategically supporting it, manipulating it, or pouring into it. You know what I mean? Like, forget this. It's just that this is the power of clarity. Forget that. Like, overall, if you are avoiding something, your brain is not supporting you for some reason. And you got to get clear on why. Don't avoid it. Don't focus on trying to put a reason attached to issues. You got to get clarity. I just want clarity. Once you have clarity, I promise you, your brain will now work to get the strategy or implement the strategy. But this is a real threat on your business, on your health, on your marriage, on where you can go. Like it's a real threat. And we have to use our resources or strategically do the work to put ourselves in a position to win. Because it's not just about your business. Your business can be fucking slaying it. But if your personal life goes to hell, your business will lose in some degree. Not completely, same thing vice versa. You're winning at home, but your fucking finances is trash. Your marriage, your relationship will have some weight because of it, right? And it will deteriorate or limit how high that marriage relationship can go or business venture. So, um, so this is important. I'm glad. I wish I was able to do another one, but I'm glad I was able to at least give you all kind of a real life example of supporting someone through their own. Because I have my own as well. I'm in the same. I know the success with cold calling, bro. And I'm not cold calling. I don't make like I do have a lot going on, but bro, that's what a fucking business is. How do I not make 30 minutes? You know what I mean? But that was good for me. I'm like, yo, 15 minutes. If I could say that, or 30, like I know I could, let's just say 15 because my brain be They be tripping like, nah, I mean, we got shit moving. 15 minutes. You know what I mean? 15 minutes, Jay. I can commit to that and add a consequence behind it because then that'll really hold me to it. Tell my older son, yo, fuck it. If I don't do 15-minute call blocks and report and let you know, I owe you $50. Like that level of accountability will actually support me. But that's what I got to do. If I know I want to win and I know that's an avenue, it's like, yo, how do I not give myself all the best chances? I got to do it. So that's the hump. That's the hump.
Hey Jay, side note, is 8 Conway the one that's closing for you?
No, that's coming on the market this week, though. Just
Oh
staged
man.
it yesterday, pitches today.
Okay.
This is a client who's buying a multifamily out in Prov.
Gotcha.
And I got another one to offer putting in today. We should hopefully lock that up. It's been on the market for like 50 something days. But you know me, I'm about to run the play, see if I can get on a 15K credit. You
Yeah.
know what I mean?
There you go.
So, clarity, bro. I had the seller disclosure. So the deal I'm putting together today, I took the seller disclosure, downloaded it, imported it into my coach. I said, I want you to look at this, find the red flags, find the things I should be aware of, or the things that I should see that I need to let my clients know, right? Which only makes me look good. Man, they found some shit. It went through receipts that they had uploaded to sell this. So I said, yo, they actually did the water well, which is awesome with a plumber. But on the actual invoice, the plumber wrote, there's a concern with electricity conductor being like traveling through the fucking pipe. So someone was to touch it, like there's electricity being transmitted for some reason through that pipe, which is a safety concern. This says so should be addressed. It was like that is in there from his notes. We need to figure out where's your receipts to show you address this, right? And like we're not thinking that, you know what I mean? So like, but I was able to go through a whole seller disclosure and now create a narrative to support this 15, 20K credit we're gonna go with in a matter of like 45 seconds. You know what I mean? Like it makes me more. Now I'm telling my clients, hey, I went through the report and I actually found these items. They literally said, like, I cannot believe how hard you work for us. Like you put together this other thorough report of these two properties. Yo, this shit analysis of it was fire. And then they're like, I've never seen someone show up like this. You know what I mean? Think about the business, the pipeline I'm gonna get from that, and I'm saving time. It's just the clarity you can't move. So I have a resource to give me clarity so I can move quicker. I can move more strategically. I can build quicker trust. I can make quicker, faster moves. It's just fire. Like now I had a P&S. I said, take this P&S. As I said, go through it, figure out where I missed. And they fucking pointed out several things I didn't even realize. And I went through it a couple of times. This actually be here. Hey, you left this blank. And this actually say this, refer to addendum. Because if you don't, technically they can say, I was like, dang, dang. Yeah. And I didn't know Rhode Island, there's no requirement for a Title V with a septic. I found that
What?
out. They were like,
Say
yo,
what?
show me the regulation, bro. There's no Title V requirement in Rhode Island. Not at all. You got a septic, that's
What?
the buyer's choice. You can get it done. You can ask for it to be done. It's not a requirement.
That is
Yeah.
What?
crazy.
I wouldn't have known that shit.
That is crazy. Yo, why?
Yeah.
Max is different, bro.
Let me take
Yeah.
my ass to Rhode
Yeah,
Island then.
Take my ass to New Hampshire.
that's
Peace.
incredible.
Yeah.
Yo, well, Jay, real quick, when you're working with these clients, I'm assuming you're working with buyers, right?
The one that closed and then the one I'm about to put in is a buyer, yeah.
When you said you gave an analysis of the homes, what prompts in either your coach or Gemini did you use to come up with a report? Because when I do the reports, I usually just do a comp and a summary, but I have a feeling you do go a little deeper than
Yeah, I'll send you I'll have to create a master prompt for it. I'll work on that and then I'll also show you what I created. It had the side by side, it had the pros, the cons, it had the thing, the synopsis, and the why. This, that, pros and cons, synopsis, and the why. Then it said, based on that, I think this is best, but you all are in the driver's seat. But now you have,
Yeah, I
it
need
was
that.
fire, bro. I'm like, oh shit. I saved me hours of research. It told me shit that I didn't even think about. It was like, it broke down like the basement actually has two egress. So obviously we can change it to an ADU and the laws actually support it because it changed here. And also we can generate about 1,100 to 1,300 in rent just off that ADU one bedroom or if we do a studio. This one doesn't have the script. I was just like, oh, I'm the fuck. It makes me look like the fucking king. The king, bro. How do you not like? anyway, so yeah, I get that. But good job, guys. Thank you for getting on. Tikal, thank you so much for uh jumping in, kind of throwing your hurdle on there, and let's roll intentionally.
Let me hit you up, or if you have a second to stay, I just want to ask you a question or two.
Yeah, go ahead. You guys can hop off if you're good, or y'all can stay. Either one.
So I have a listing that's going